I write books, contribute to books about pets. I host several different radio shows. I'm on TV, was just on TV this morning, actually, talking about Betty White, who is a friend of mine, and we'll talk more about that. But we're here to make a very special, and I do mean special, Pet Partners announcement. So we paid for very special sound effects.
Do I drum roll?
I guess
That's
we did.
special.
Okay, so do that again. Here it is, the drum roll. And in fact, I will let you make the announcement, Madam Drumroller. By the way, before you do, we're going to tease people even more. I should explain who we're talking to here, so people have some idea. This is Traci Pryor, Chief Development Officer, yay, the drum, and part-time percussionist, and Ashley Drew, the National Director of Special Events and Field Development, both at Pet Partners.
Yes.
All right, now, Traci, that special announcement.
Yes, absolutely. And if you are joining us, please leave a comment in the chat so we can see, you can see and hear us, because we love to see, and let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you have some special pets in your lives, we love hearing about those, some registered therapy animals and other pets. But yeah, Steve said, I'm Traci and I work here at Pet Partners with Ashley. And you may have seen us on some other Facebook Lives because we're often talking about our national signature events like the World's Largest Pet Walk and Treats and Sweets Day and National Therapy Animal Day. And I've had so much good luck.
What's the special announcement?
So today we want to talk about our brand new inaugural special event called Pet Partners Pet of the Year that's going to kick off next month. And we're really excited, and I want Ashley, you want to talk a little bit about what Pet of the Year is?
Yes, absolutely. So we are very excited. Hey, Stella and Krista, welcome y'all. So Pet of the Year is a exciting fundraising competition, and so pet parents can nominate their pets to try to raise the most money during our 6-week competition. The fundraising competition starts on February 1st and goes through March 15th. And then on March 16th, you'll see the three of us again. And we'll be announcing the winner and the runner-up. And there's going to be tons of wonderful prizes. And so it's going to be great. And so we're encouraging all pets, not just therapy animals. I'm hoping we could get a bearded dragon or something really fun. But we've got a lot of wonderful species. We've got donkeys. We've got pigs, dogs, cats. What else? We have so many wonderful animals that have already, been nominated so far. So we're just excited to talk a little bit more about this and get some more folks involved.
All right, so we'll explain more, friends, about what this Pet of the Year is all about. But first of all, for the two people watching who don't know this, perhaps, well, really, I mean, not everyone should know, but not everyone does know. So, Ashley, can you explain what Pet Partners is?
Pet Partners, the organization?
Yes.
Yeah, we are a wonderful national nonprofit that registers therapy animals. And so we've got thousands of handlers that get registered with their pets and then go into their communities to volunteer, whether they're going to hospitals, retirement facilities. We have Read With Me program where they get to go into schools with kids. They serve everybody. And so it's really, really a wonderful program. And Traci and I have the wonderful opportunity to help raise money so that program continue to build and grow.
Yeah, these handlers are making millions of visits a year all across the country to all different types of people. Just really anybody that could benefit from that unconditional love, that joy, that happiness, and that stress reduction that animals provide. So we help to prepare those handlers so that they can go make safe, effective visits to folks in their own communities and across the country that could really benefit from that type of visit.
Yes, and indeed, I want to talk about those benefits here. By the way, is my seat.
Oh, who is that?
That's Hazel.
Hi, Hazel.
Yes. So I think that during the pandemic and the height of it, visits were all off. But now that they've come back, I would argue we need these programs more than ever. And when I say we, I do mean we. I mean the recipients of the programs who have always benefited, and will continue to benefit, whether they be kids in schools, kids in libraries, adults who may be in Alzheimer's facilities or memory facilities, and children's hospitals and adult hospital, and the list goes on and on.
It really does.
And the recipients have always benefited. They continue to. I would argue that the handlers, those who volunteer, are now benefiting in a way maybe we never even thought about.
Yeah, I feel like everyone now has such an appreciation for how fragile our mental health and well-being can be. And at this time when we were limited in the number of connections and visits and time spent with others, that need now is greater than ever. And even during the pandemic, our handlers were so committed and so creative. They were doing window visits. They were doing outdoor pet parade visits. They were doing virtual visits and letter writing and sending messages. And so they stayed connected to those folks that might look forward to those visits. That, some of these folks that are being visited by therapy animals, by our pet partners, this might be their only visit that they're getting on a regular basis. And so they were so wonderful and loyal and passionate to stay connected even during. But we are seeing folks now returning, and sometimes the visits are a little different, and we're still obviously trying to be as safe as we can and following all these protocols. But those connections are still being made and are still needed. And so by participating in something like Pet of the Year, it's helping us to be able to fund and support our handlers and hopefully to recruit new ones so that we can continue to meet the need.
All right, and to celebrate all of our companion animals as well. So let's talk about Pet of the Year.
I was hoping you'd do that voice. I was not going to let us end without that voice. Steve, thank you.
Well, sorry, everybody. All right, so for Pet of the Year, let's start at the very beginning. Does this pet have to be a Pet Partners participant in one of the programs? Does this pet, and since you're shaking your head no, Ashley, I'll let you answer these questions. Does this pet have to be, and you alluded to it just a bit, a specific species? Apparently bearded dragons are included. So it can be anything.
Yeah.
And what are you looking for as a parameter as to what makes the Pet of the Year?
It's a lot to live up to.
So Pet of the Year is inclusive to any and all species of pets. So that's what's really fun about this is, yes, I hope we get a bearded dragon or any kind of other. If somebody has a spider that, they absolutely love and thinks it's adorable and wants to share it with the world, any pets are welcome to be nominated. But it is a fundraising competition. And so that's going to be the way that we're going to determine who the winner is. It's whoever is able to raise the most money during the 6-week period. And so we'll be providing them with tools, resources. They're going to be able to set up Facebook fundraisers. We've got all sorts of wonderful things that they can utilize to help reach their goals, and then also invite their own friends and family to join their pets team as well. Because it's always better to have more than one person out there supporting and sharing cute little animals all over the place.
So the Pet of the Year can be any pet.
Correct.
Any companion animal. So it has to be a companion animal, so we're limiting it that way. So no wild lions or anything like that. All right, but apparently spiders, I guess. All right. So if I catch a spider at my house and I raise a lot of money for the spider, I guess we're okay. And that's what it's about. You are a nonprofit who wants to continue doing the work that you are doing, and even continuing to do some things that maybe some people don't know Pet Partners does. So we could talk about what some of those things are. But it is all about also fundraising. So if you can talk about how that can happen. So let's say I'm interested. I've got a dog right there who I think is Pet of the Year.
Absolutely.
So for that dog to be, do I go online? Did it start already? How do I go? What are the steps, Traci, that I should take?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is anyone who wants to celebrate their pet. Maybe you have a wonderful story you want to share to encourage folks to support Pet Partners and celebrate your pet. Like, for example, my dog Frisco, I think he's my Pet of the Year every year. He's not a therapy animal. I love him though. And so you can create a page for your pet. So the first thing you're going to want to do is visit petpartners.org and go to the Pet of the Year page. Ashley's going to then help if you want to nominate your own pet, which is very common, or someone else's pet in your life, you can do so. So Ashley, they come to you, and then what happens?
Sure. So there's nomination forms on the website. So if you want to nominate your own pet, yep, and we just dropped the link into the chat as well. You'll go and you'll click on that and you'll fill it out. I'll get the notification, and then we'll reach out, answer any questions that you have, set up your pet's page, get your login credentials, and then you're good to go. And then, so right now we're encouraging everybody to kind of get online now, get their page set up, start asking friends and family to join your pet's team so that when that February 1st day comes around, you are ready to go. You know exactly who you're going to ask to support you, you know what kind of fundraising strategy you're going to have. So we're trying to set everybody up for success right now. And then you can also, like Traci said, nominate someone else's pet. We've had quite a few folks who say, George is a chocolate lab and he's wonderful and we think he'd be great for Pet of the Year, So I'll be reaching out to his owner, Ryan, today to see if they'd like to accept their nomination. So you can also nominate other people's pets too.
Is Peter Parker one of those that nominated a pet?
Not yet.
I'm talking about Spider-Man, of course.
I know.
His favorite super Spidey.
We do have some fun names, though. Garfield Puffy Pants just accepted their nomination today. So that'll be a wonderful cat that I'm excited to get online.
That's interesting. So you go ahead, you nominate, you continue to fundraise. You kind of suggested, so Pet Partners supports all those programs that I think a lot of people do know about. We rattled off some, but Pet Partners does much more than that. Which one of you wants to talk about what some of those things are that this money will help?
I can talk a little bit about that, how we invest the money that hardworking folks and pets are soon to raise for Pet Partners. It's all invested back into our mission, which is really improving human health and well-being through this bond that we create with humans and animals. And so we work to make sure that we can recruit handlers, support them, educate them. As you mentioned, there is an explosion of interest in therapy animal visits. And what we found out is folks are visiting in so many different settings with so many different populations. So you can come to us and learn specifically what you might need to know to visit with folks that might be affected by Alzheimer's and dementia, or visiting with veterans. We recently launched our crisis response program so that you can make visits in your own community after there might be an unexpected tragedy, natural disaster, or just really that need to respond with that comfort and stress relief that animals provide. We also invest in the insurance for our therapy animal team so that they're able to go into facilities that require that. We invest in taking care of our handlers as well. One of our programs we have is our cancer care fund, where if your therapy animal might have cancer and there is a need for financial support there. So we're constantly working to recruit, to educate, to support, and also make those connections between therapy animal teams that want to make visits and those facilities that are asking and requesting for visits. So through technology, we can connect handlers to facilities right in their own communities that are saying, we want to visit, please come, we'd love to have you. And so, everything that is raised with Pet Partners is put right back into the mission, which is really that creating those visits that we know. And research now shows those visits are making people feel better, improving their mood, reducing their stress. That feeling of isolation or loneliness that so many people are struggling with right now is even more relevant. And so just know when you choose to nominate your pet, maybe you have that special kitten or that special mini horse or whatever it is. I'm leaving the spider thing. I'm going to the cuddly ones. But whatever you can do, you can go online and create this page, tell your own story, but also celebrate the Pet Partner story. So it's a wonderful way to do both. And Ashley will work and really coach folks through how to add videos and pictures and personalize that so that it's really a chance for you to celebrate that special pet in your own life while doing something really philanthropic, really important, and really impactful.
So I'm thinking a trip around the world, or at least a bag of kibble. What does the winner get?
Oh my gosh, so many wonderful
So many prizes.
Yes, it's exciting. They get, first of all, bragging rights. Who doesn't want to be the Pet Partners Pet of the Year? The things that are my favorite are some of these attention things. Like we have our magazine, Steve, I'm sure you've seen it, Interactions magazine. That pet's going to be on the cover of the magazine. The pet's going to be on the webpage, doing media interviews, winning all kinds of visible prizes. But Ashley, what are some of the other things? Because there's so many fun things.
So many great things. We've got 2 round-trip airfare tickets for their proud parents to go anywhere that they want.
Really?
Yes.
I was just kidding about that.
And then we've got over $1,000 in snacks and toys and beds.
Snacks?
Yep. All sorts of fun things.
We've got that stuffed animal. Talk about that.
Yes. Cuddle Clone was gracious, and they've donated a Cuddle Clone certificate, and so you'll have a stuffed plush replica of your pet. And so it's just a lot of really cool things, and they'll drop it in the chat. But we keep the updated prizes on the website, so every time we get something new donated, we put it up there. But yeah, first place is going to get a little over $3,500 in prizes. Second place is nearing $2,000 worth of fun stuff. There's also books, pet-themed books. Chewy has donated. Spectrum Brands has done a spa package for your pet so that they, look and feel as great as they are. So, I mean, lots of really great, fun things.
And that list is growing every day. So we'll keep adding to it as generous donors and sponsors. They're all donated prizes that are coming through. Folks that we already work with on other campaigns throughout the year that want to support this too. So keep checking back. But that kind of fun mix of actual prizes and just the attention and the prestige that you'll get with being Pet of the Year. Absolutely.
And a wonderful interview with you.
Use the voice again.
Well, actually, that's true. So I will be interviewing the Pet of the Year person on a national radio show, and probably I'll put it on WGN in Chicago too. So you guys will get to be on radio as well. Now, for all of this, even though it's a fundraising event, I'm thinking it would cost a whole lot of money, probably thousands of dollars just to register.
No.
Like for the event?
Dave, come on.
I was like, wait, as a handler? as a contestant?
No, to be involved in this as a candidate, there is no fee to participate, and there's no minimum requirements. We do have some little incentive prizes to get you started, so you can earn an official Pet of the Year polo and a little bandana for your pet. So there's little fundraising incentives along the way, but there's no fee to set up your candidacy for your pet. And we will work so hard to support you throughout it, share ideas, share what's working. There will be a little suspense, though, as we get towards the end. So it's 6 weeks. And we don't want everyone to know what everyone else is raising right up to until the end, because then there'd be no announcement to the big announcement. So how's that going to work, Ashley?
Yeah, so for the first 4 weeks, everyone will be able to see where each of the pets are on the leaderboard. And then at the 4-week mark, we're going to take it dark, and we're taking down all the leaderboards. You won't be able to see anybody's goal thermometer, so that for the last 2 weeks, well, that encourages everybody to put out any of those last minute asks, follow up with anyone that hasn't gotten back to you. To just really, push so that, when you wake up on the 16th and you tune in, it'll just be very exciting to see, who it is or what pet. And so we're hoping it'll be really just fun and lighthearted, because, this is just a really great event that's focused, strictly on the animals. And there's so many cute animals that are getting involved. So we just want it to be fun. But no, there's no minimum. We just want to make sure that everybody that, does nominate their pet understands that it is a fundraiser, and that's how you would actually be able to compete, that it's not based off of a beauty.
or some my dog saved the world. Nothing. Yeah. So it's.
But if you have a great story to tell it, because that's gonna inspire people to give. So.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm curious as to what. First of all, if you have questions or comments, put them in the chat here.
Please do.
I actually got one here from Amy, and she wants to know: can you give an example or two because it will help me, she says, of those who have already registered and what their stories are. Now, I'm not sure she's asking about a tarantula story, but maybe another story.
Sure. We have one candidate, a pig named Bacon, and he lives with his family in California. And our CEO, Annie, had seen that they had posted a story on social media talking about how they had raised tons of money for his owner's school. And so they talked about how much they love philanthropy and giving back to the community. And so we reached out and we said Annie would love to nominate Bacon. And, you know, his mom was super excited. And so Sophia said, we'd love to learn more and learn more about becoming a therapy animal because we do register pigs. And so she's going to go through the process to become a handler and get registered. And so, yeah, so just really wonderful. And so Bacon's excited to to get in there and try and win, and to also just become a therapy pig so that he can actually go and do visits. So that's a fun one that off the top of my head that that I know of.
That is good. You know, I'm curious. Before each of you joined Pet Partners, I don't know how long, you can tell me how long you've been with Pet Partners. You probably knew about the fact, and today it is a fact, that companion animals can help people feel better and actually in some cases get better. Were you surprised once you joined the organization and began to hear story after story, I suspect, at the extent and to the degree of which this truly happens every single day?
It's amazing. I mean, the scope of what our volunteers, and these handlers are all volunteers, and they're working together with their animals. And the stories we hear about, you know, a patient that may not be responsive to the humans, to the doctors, to their family members, but then an animal comes in and they engage for the first time, or pet the animal, or, you know, a senior that might struggle with memories and, you know, connecting with the present, to spend time with an animal and then say, you know, to start engaging and talking and saying, this reminds me of my pet that I had. Just these little stories. And it's such a simple concept, but we can't take it for granted because it can have such a profound and really positive effect. And the fact that you get to go out and share an animal that brings you so much joy with others. So when people find out, wait, I get to volunteer, help my community, help people that need help, that might be going through something difficult, and I get to take my animal with me, it's, you know, a perfect merge of what everyone's looking for in making a difference and using this time we have to make people smile and to bring joy. So, I mean, I knew how much I loved every animal that's ever been in my life. So, and then we all know that, right? We all know that. We smile and we know intrinsically that it's important, but to see it in such a scale and with such a rich history that's gone on for so long, it makes you feel really good.
Yeah.
Well, one of those that understood is a lady by the name of Betty White.
Yeah.
So today I was on television talking about the hashtag Betty White Challenge. Her birthday is coming up a week from today. Would have been her 100th birthday. I interviewed Betty White many, many times and would talk to her about things. We didn't, when I had the opportunity to talk in person, we didn't talk much. I remember one conversation. We didn't talk like about the Mary Tyler Moore Show or the Golden Girls. Right. Here's an example. I was at an event and we're talking about, oh, this is going to be so exciting, feline leukemia.
Oh.
Yeah, because she was aware of how the organization that she, by the way, so dedicated to. And I'm asked, you know, well, I want to explain that Betty White Challenge in a moment and what that is. But the Morris Animal Foundation funds studies in cat, dog research so we can understand better. And they don't stop there. We're talking about wild animals. We're talking about captive animals in zoos. They once ran the Gorilla Project in Rwanda, actually. An amazing organization responsible for so much knowledge. So you have your dogs or your pig, not for spider research they've done, but they probably have actually supported that. And Betty White was on their board. They don't call it board members. They have another name for it, for decades. And she would say, well, I can't get rid of me. I'm still here. Same for the Los Angeles Zoo. But more than once, I would talk, and this is true, about the human-animal bond with her.
Yeah.
And in later years, the bond she had with her dog named Pontiac. And that's from the Seeing Eye Dog organization. It was a failed dog who was apparently too friendly to everybody, and it couldn't work because the dog would be distracted all the time. Oh, there's a person. I don't care about crossing the street. As a guide dog, I care about saying hello to that person. So the dog failed and ended up in Betty's home. And we would talk about the human-animal bond, which was something Betty so understood. Well, that's what Pet Partners is all about. And I know, going back to when Pet Partners was called the Delta Society back in the day, that Betty was a supporter and continued throughout until the end to be a supporter of Pet Partners and the work Pet Partners does, because it brings people and animals together and also demonstrates on a daily basis the benefits of what animals can do for us simply by being themselves and offering love they so typically offer. So I don't know that you have anything specifically up on your website or not, but on Monday, which would have been her 100th birthday,
Wow.
is when Betty White, or these people, I don't know who began it all. I can't say I did, but as soon as I saw it, hashtag Betty White Challenge, the idea is to give to an animal welfare organization or your local shelter.
Right.
Give $5 if you want, $5 billion if you want, or that would be nice, or anything, or anything in between to help. And well, that would be great. And Betty would have loved that. What she would have loved even more is to give to this organization or her beloved Morris Animal Foundation, the Los Angeles Zoo.
So many. I just keep reading these posts, and she was a woman that just, what a legacy, because she brought so much joy to us humans, but also helped so many animals during her lifetime. And so what a way to honor her and celebrate her and her amazing career, her amazing philanthropy, her humor, all of those things. So absolutely, I know we have a photo we're planning to share of her at one of the early Pet Partners functions, probably when it was still Delta Society. So I appreciate that. And what an amazing way to continue that impact that she's had. I love it. Such a great celebration.
Yeah. And she would have loved this notion of Pet of the Year.
Yes.
Before we wrap it up, tell us again where to go to get information in case someone just joined us, and how to go about doing that at a very basic level so people know that your dog, your cat, your bunny rabbit, your miniature horse, your pig, or your spider at home can be Pet of the Year. Go ahead.
You can go to our website. If you go to petpartners.org/pet of the year, and that'll take you right to our page. And at the top, you can either click on nominate a pet or nominate someone else's pet, and just complete the very short form. And then you'll be hearing from me. So answer my phone calls.
Yes. And then the fundraising.
You're not going to be spam, huh?
No.
And then it'll all kick off February 1st, and people will fundraise through then. And then we'll announce the winner back here March 16th.
Very good.
Very exciting.
Right. So one quick anecdote, a Betty White anecdote. One of the last times I interviewed her, I said, because she always was sincerely very modest about her awards and everything else she got. And I said, listen, you were at the top of this business back in the day when the show was Life with Elizabeth. You guys are way too young. I'm too young to remember that show. I mean, I think it premiered in 1950, 1949, 1951 on television. And it was a sitcom of sorts. I think it was 1951 or 2, actually. Mm-hmm. But she was on TV before that. Wow. But that was the first sitcom she did. And through then, all the game shows, and then Mary Tyler Moore, and then the Golden Girls, picking up all of these awards. And I said, the reality is you are the best at what you do. The cream rises to the top. And she said, "No, Steve, you are wrong."
What? She
She
disagreed with you? What did she say?
The cream goes to the hips.
Oh, touche.
Sharp, sharp, sharp. Very fast.
So funny. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
thank you all very much for joining us. And for more information, check out Pet Partners as these guys described. Traci, Pryor, Ashley, Drew, thank you very much. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you volunteer in any way as a dog handler with Pet Partners or anywhere else, it's you I want to thank for doing this work. It's incredible work, and it's important work. So I thank you all very, very much. And with that,